Last time, 2001, over.
Roger. We have experienced.
Okay, I think you're having some problem with the microphone, over.
Roger. We had QSO on 2001 and 2000 also, QSO on 20.
Okay, I think.
Holy crap, that was awesome. What's happening? How's everybody doing? K1GMM, Kilo 1 Golf, Mike, Steve in the canyons of Vermont. I wish everybody a great holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. The Grinch is in the house. This is the best I can do. A set of Grinch glasses and a stupid Christmas hat. How you guys doing? Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, you better not be watching. How's it going, John? Who else is in here? Let me check the chat quick. There's a lot of stuff I need to go over. Nate, Merry Christmas, buddy. Happy New Year. Greg, Merry Christmas. Good to see you. And I won't last very long with these stupid glasses on, so hope everybody had a good day yesterday. I'm still pigging out, and I shouldn't be, so hopefully you had some good eats too and spent some quality time with the family. Bert, how's it going, buddy? And a couple things I'm gonna run through quick. And probably knock around on HF. I've been listening. Conditions were better. I worked France about, was it 4 o'clock? About 2.5 hours ago, believe it or not. It was 1:30. 1:30 in the afternoon. And I think it was a Fox 5 MUX was in here. 1:30 in the afternoon on 40 meters. Go figure. Chris, good to see you. Everybody's trickling in, so I'm kind of stalling. So I guess we'll get up and going. Okay. First thing, which is kind of silly. Today, well, every day for the past 2 weeks, I've been getting notifications from DX Maps telling me that 6 meters is open. And John already knows about this. So got the notification that 6 meters is open, and I haven't listened. So this morning I decided, oh, what the heck? I'll go down and listen. So I've been running, which I'm going to go over this as well. I got a Spyserver up and running. I can't run it when I'm on HF because I will blow the living daylights out of the front end of the dongle. I took the RTL-SDR, the little cheap dongle there, and I set up a Spyserver on a Raspberry Pi, a Pi 3. And yeah, these are my Grinch glasses, Chris. So I figured, and I had the Spyserver jacked into the 80-meter array out front. So I thought, well, I'll give it a listen, see what's going on. So I pulled up SDR Sharp, grabbed the Spyserver online, this particular node, the Spy here at the house, launched that in SDR Sharp, and good Lord, the pan adapter was full of signals. But the weird thing was, it was from 50.300 to 50.400. That's too high for 6 meters for phone. Phone is usually always down in the 125 area, 50.125. That's the US sideband calling frequency. So for phone. So I went and I recorded it and I uploaded it to YouTube. I was like, holy crap, check this out. 6 meters is wide open. Well, I got thinking about it. I thought, and I was listening to the conversations on there, and it didn't sound right. It didn't sound like typical 6 meter QSOs. So what I ended up realizing was, don't ask me why this happened, but even though the VFO, the frequency counter was set at 50 dot, whatever it was at the time, 340, it was actually listening on 40 meters. So it was not 6 meters that I was hearing. And the reason how I confirmed that was I took the 6 meter beam and I jacked it into the 7300 and I flipped the 7300 on and I gave it a listen. I didn't hear anything. So yeah, I figured you guys get a big kick out of that one. False alarm. I was so thrilled. I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, wow, listen to that. 6 meters is roaring. No, it's not. That was 40 meters. Even though the VFO said it was on 50.3 something. Whatever. Anyways. GM4ZZI, these are my Grinch. The Grinch is in the house. This is the closest thing. I couldn't find a Grinch mask, so I got the Grinch glasses. So there you go. Anyways, moving on from that. Picked up a Behringer. It's a Composer Pro-XL. And blinkers in here. Merry Christmas. And I've been blown away by how effective this is. Anybody running outboard gear, I cannot say enough good things about it, but I want to discuss one problem I had. So I'm going to take the glasses off. And so let me show you a picture of what it looks like. So I'm going to grab the cam off the radio. And let's switch. Okay. So the Composer is this one right here. It's the one with the one at the bottom. This is the exciter. Sorry about that. My audio is scary hot. I'm too close to the microphone. So this is the Composer Pro. And what that is basically I had a compressor limiter, which I was very unhappy with. Okay, you can go online and look them up. It was the multicom. See if I can get this back to where it was. It was the multicom, Behringer multicom. It's a 4-channel compressor limiter, mostly a compressor. And the problem is when you run outboard gear into an HF transceiver, it's like trying to cram a twin supercharged 900 horsepower engine into a Volkswagen Beetle chassis. It's very difficult. I call it taming the wild beast. So another thing I noticed, well, let me deal with that first. Let me deal with the compressor end first. So what I ended up doing is I ordered this particular unit. I took the multicom out and it has a very nice noise gate in it. And I'll tell you why that's important in a second. But the compressor limiter, this allows it has a de-esser function as well as an expander / gate, as well as a compressor and a peak limiter, which basically helps to limit the audio hitting the transceiver so you don't push the ALC too hard. So it's been very effective. Like I found this runs, I'm running the big studio microphone at right around 3:1 on the compression, and with a little bit of limiting, and that helps a lot. Also, the fidelity of it is fantastic, phenomenal. The problem I was having was, you know how we've done all this talking about SDR console. So this is SDR console running. Now, because there's a little bit of latency, from when you key the radio to where the console goes, switches to transmit. If you have an open microphone, I found sometimes you'll get what I call a squelch crash, even though that's not what it really is. That's not accurate. I don't know if you guys have ever heard a squelch crash on a repeater. It's like that at the end of a transmission. When someone drops a key, you'll hear like a squelch crash. I was getting that at the beginning. And what it was is that when I key the HF rig, SDR console, there's a slight delay there. So the audio is being passed before the console can catch up. So you get a little bit of a crash there. So what I do, so I originally set it up with a compressor with the Composer Pro, at the last stage of the audio chain. What I was getting was a tremendous amount of clicking and popping with the gate. So what I did was I reconfigured everything. So I go from the preamp to the EQ to the Composer Pro, the compressor, limiter, gate, expander, limiter, blah, 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 blah. And then I go to the Aphex 204 as a final stage before it hits the radio. And everything seemed to snap right into shape. So that's how I have it configured. It's a great rig. I think it's about $129 and worth every penny. It'll help get your audio, snap your audio into shape. Still can't. Oh, okay. And the SDR console. All right, so we're going to move on from there. I have not been able to get, I don't understand this. I have not been able to get SDR console to work with any Spyservers running. And yet SDR Sharp is absolutely idiot-proof. You just put it in there and hit play and bang. It connects to it and away you go. I can't understand it for the life of me. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. So, and yet Spyserver is part of the SDR console community. That's where Airspy comes from. And yet I cannot get it to work. Nothing. I have spent, hours probably trying to get this thing to work with a server, whether it be online or the local or the LAN. Doesn't work. Blinker, I don't know what you're trying to get to work. I've tried all the file exchanges, etc. Blah. What are you trying to get it to work with? A particular SDR radio dongle? What I found is SDR console, once it's working, don't touch it. It's bomb-proof, but I really love it. I've been playing with SDR Sharp, and I thought SDR Sharp was better. It's not. It's not. SDR console is much nicer. It's much better. V3 dongle shows as an SDR full, but no signal. Man, dude. The V3 dongle. And I take it you followed the instructions. See, that's all I did. I followed the instructions to a T in SDR to how to get the RTL to work, and it just worked. I think all I did was I dropped the EXTIO DLL in there, and it saw it, went to definitions, found it, added it to the list, and it's always worked. But it is quirky. That's the problem I found with this stuff. Okay. Last thing I wanted to address is the Spyserver thing. Anybody thinking about doing this? I have a couple thoughts. I know you guys have heard of WebSDR. I'm a little bit put off by the owner of WebSDR and his attitude. If you go to the WebSDR frequently asked questions section on the internet, it it bothers me. He makes it sound, now I don't know if this is true. I always give people the benefit of the doubt. But there's a question in there like, should I put up an SDR server? And I see the comment in there, Blinker. So that question was posed. He said, well, if there's other web SDRs in the same general area, he makes it sound like, well, why would you want to put up one yourself? Well, it's a hobby. Everybody can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter whether you want to put it up yourself or not. I know he's coming at it from the standpoint of the community, and I understand that, but conditions can be radically different in a 50-mile radius. You know, also it depends on the antenna system you put up. So I don't know, I was kind of put off by that because I was going to contact, I don't know, I still might. The problem with Spyserver is that to make Spyserver work, let me pull up, I'll show you. Hey Martin, how's it going? To use the Spyserver, you're going to need an SDR piece of software on your computer to run it. So SDR Sharp is the way to go. It's just idiot proof. It'll work. First try, guaranteed. So let me show you what SDR. Pull this over onto the screen. Okay, so this is the Spyserver. Now again, I have my Spyserver running on a Raspberry Pi. It's under K1GMM if you do a search. And it's not online now. I have to take it down when I'm on HF because like I said, if I transmit with the antenna on the same property feeding the dongle, nothing good's going to come from that. I did it, run it on 0% drive just to see what would happen, and it's terrifying. I'm going to blow the front end right out of that thing. So it's not going to handle the overload, especially with like 400 or 500 watts going out. So this is the website, airspy.com directory, and this will give you all of the online active web SDRs. Okay, this is strictly Spyserver. This is not web SDR. If you want to set up your Spyserver with a little RTL-SDR dongle, I found this is a phenomenal piece of information. It's by Mike Richards, G4WNC. I did this to a T. It worked the first time. Excellent, excellent write-up on how to make this stupid thing work. You will have to install Raspbian Stretch. I have Raspbian Stretch on the Raspberry Pi. And then you basically go through and you install and configure the Spyserver. Anybody who's not familiar, you can also do it in Windows. If you have a Windows desktop, there's Windows software for it as well. But I had a Pi sitting here, so I was like, what the heck, I'll try that. And it works. It works good. What else? What else? I'm having a brain fart here. Oh, that was the other thing. Okay. Hang on just for a moment. I'll show you what I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on. So stand by. Okay. So what type of antenna do you put on your SDR receiver if you're going to run like a Spyserver or WebSDR or something like that? These things get phenomenal reviews. They're cheap. There's a little bit of a wait if you're stateside. This is probably the one I'm going to get. This is the Cased Mini Whip. It's an active antenna. HF, LF, and VLF. This will cover everything you need to get your Spyserver or WebSDR up and running on HF. And from what I've read, these things work every bit as good as a disc cone antenna, if not even better. I don't know if any of you have ever looked at how big a disc cone is for 80 meters, but pretty much the only people who run disc cones on the longer wavelengths are the military, and they are freaking ginormous. So this is it's about a foot tall. You stick it on a pole, stick it up as high as you can, provide power to the preamp, and away you go. Jack it into your dingle dongle, and you're off and running. So kind of curious how that will end up working. They are BNCs, as you can see. So if you use all PL259s, you'll need a BNC to 239 adapter, 3 of them, to get this thing connected. So there you go. Actually, just a BNC jumper to get from the antenna to the preamp, and then just one adapter actually will probably suffice. So that's it on that. So that's what's been going on. Anyways, I will get out of here. How you doing, Anthony? Hope you had a good holiday. Start of the holiday. And I'm going to actually go up and get a cup of tea. And then we're going to look around on 40 and see what kind of trouble I can get into. Let me go up and grab a cup of tea, and I'll be right back, and I'll kick the radio on, and we'll sit and see if I can round anybody up here. I got to take this hat off because it's crushing my skull. Let's back up and go. Oh, here's another thing. All right. This is something I was going to run. I wanted to share with you guys. Very important. If you go to the Airspy website, as you know, I run an HF Plus, and the Spyserver is running the RTL-SDR dongle, the little $20 dongle. I was kind of questioning whether it was worth buying the Airspy. Let me give you my thoughts on that. When I put the Spyserver up, I did a comparison between the two. Okay, same antenna. I took the antenna out of the Spyserver, one of the big guns I have on the property, and I jacked it into the Airspy on SDR console, and I took it out and I put it back in the Spyserver, which was running SDR sharp. Holy mother crap. There is no contest between those two. If you go to the Airspy site, you'll see some audio clips, and there's been speculation. Nobody's been able to really answer this question. Speculation as to whether the happy holidays from Vermont to Seattle. Good to see you in here, KK7PW. There's audio clips in the Airspy site right on the main page for the HF Plus. One has the noise reduction, one doesn't. Well, everybody's like, well, how do you activate the noise reduction? I've always been under the impression that it's software driven. Okay, in other words, you have to actually activate it with a piece of software. I'm 99% sure that is not the case. I compared the two dongles, same band, same frequency, same antenna. There is virtually no noise on the Airspy HF Plus, and it is absolutely horrific on the SDR, RTL-SDR, which tells me one thing. The noise reduction algorithm is already pre-written and it's already in. It's running all the time in the HF Plus. So I figured I'd share that with you guys. I thought that was very interesting. Is there a difference between the two? Is it worth the money? Hell yeah. Holy crap, you would not believe the difference. I wish I could rip everything apart and show you guys, but you'll just have to take my word for it. They are two completely different animals. The Airspy HF Plus is exponentially far superior to than the 7300 receiver could ever be. That's the honest to God truth. If I have to run the 7300 receiver, I'm going to be severely disgusted after running the Airspy. I figured I'd just throw that at you guys. Videos on how you run coax to your SDR and Raspberry Pi. Well, I can show you. So if you're referring to the Spyserver, if you're referring to the Spyserver, this is how I do it. I'll show you exactly how I do it. Hold on. I'm going to get on the other camera. I got the hiccups. So I'll go to left wide. Hang on here. Okay. So what we have here, we have this is the RTL-SDR dongle. Okay. I have a USB extension which goes to the Raspberry Pi. Plugged in, so I don't want to rip the power. This goes to the Raspberry Pi, okay? This is the RTL. You can buy these. You can either use a SMA. This is an SMA connector, the SO239. Here's the coax, which comes in. I have a 80. Oh, I got to tell you guys about this too. So much information to share with you. This is the antenna for the dongle. Well, what I thought was going to be. It's horrible. So let's say you got a 259 on here for your coax. So you can either get a pigtail jumper, which is what I would recommend to go to the dongle, especially if the dongle is plugged into the Pi. It's plugged into the Pi, depending on the size of the coax, there's not any strain relief. See what I'm saying? So if you plug this into the dongle, feed the RF to the dongle, it's going to try and work that USB port. Not a good idea. So you're better off having this just standalone on the Pi. Plug in a very lightweight. You're not transmitting through it, so who can? Oh, hold on a second. The gate's being a dink. So you're not transmitting through it, so who cares? So just run this thing, jack your coax into it, and there you go. That's how you get the coax. And now this, you're gonna love this. All right. So let me see. I think I have. So let me see if I can find. I can't remember the measurements. I built. Hey, Al. Hopefully that answers your question. So I built, for the Spyserver, I built an OCF. I figured, hey, I got a spool of wire out there, a bunch of wire. Why don't I just throw an OCF up that'll cover like 80 through 10 or 80 through 20 meters? So I've never run an OCF before, an off-center fed dipole. So I got the plans from this guy online. You're not even going to believe this. I put this together. I believe it's 83 feet on one leg and 36 feet on the other leg. I can't remember. Pretty sure it's like 30. No, it's 80. It's 83. It's like 83 or 86 feet, one or the other on one leg, and 30. I can get the specs for you if you guys need it, and I can put it on the stream. I put it together. I jammed a 4-to-1 on it. Right? So I build these 4-to-1s. They're basically, I can't remember what they are. They're 12 turns? 12 bifilar turns. I use like 12 gauge wire. They take a lot of, you can put like legal limit in them, no problem. I built a bunch of them and they work pretty good. So, right? So I jack that on there. I pull it up in the trees. It's about 20 feet off the ground. And that thing, believe it or not, loads 1.5 to 1. I didn't tune it. I didn't prune it. I didn't do anything. 1.5 to 1 from 80 meters to 6 meters, including the work bands. Now, that's not supposed to happen on an OCF. I can't, you want to know the reason why I can't run it? It's the noisiest damn thing I've ever heard in my entire life. The noise that antenna picks up is absolutely horrific. I will never, I wouldn't even play radio if I had to run that antenna. I'm running all loops here, full wave loops in arrays, and they are literally dead silent, dead silent. And these things, an OCF, good God. Now maybe I've got it screwed up, but it hears great, but the problem is it's noisy as hell, so I figured I'd throw that at you. If you want a single antenna, and you can only put up like a single antenna for a group of bands that's resonant, you don't have a tuner, by all means, have at it, man. But hold on to your lug nuts because they're noisy. If you got any noise in the area, you're freaking screwed with that thing. Now you could probably, I don't have any ferrites on it. You can probably choke it, ferrite it. That will probably help. But I'm telling you, it's not going to help that much. You're not going to wipe it out. So, I don't know. It's food for thought. I was intrigued though. I've never messed with an OCF before, and I was like, wow. One antenna, 80 through 6 meters, that's without a tuner. That's just the antenna with 93 feet of Art Mini 8 on it. To the 4-to-1, to the dipole. 80 to 6 meters, 1.5 to 1 or less. The majority of the bands, like 40, 20, 17, 15, those, believe it or not, are so close to flat, it's not even funny. They're like a 1.1, 1.2 to 1. And I didn't even tune the stupid thing, so pretty cool. That's cool. Anthony and Blinker, can you share with me exactly how you do that? Because I'd much rather buy one. See, the reason why I like the active antennas now, did that have a preamp on it? See, what I'm intrigued with is that they're an active antenna, the ones I'm looking at, and the cost $30. Dude, a spool of wire is $50. It's almost not even worth trying to freaking build one for $30 with the preamp. Now, from everything I've read, they're as good as a disc cone. Now, a disc cone on 80 meters would be, how tall would that be? That's an enormous antenna. And from what I've read, they actually work as good, if not better, than a disc cone, which is pretty freaking remarkable for $30. I'm a skeptic, and I'll believe it when I see it, but I figure I'll try it. Anyways, let me run up and grab a cup of tea. I'll throw this on. I'll be right back. You guys, give me a couple minutes. You guys hash it out amongst yourselves. Thanks for the info, by the way. Get this back on.
You are set. This is a Delta Charlie 1 November Tango calling and listening for any call. Mike 0 Oscar Station, Mike 0 coming in. Mike 0, let's wait a second. Mike 0 Oscar November Quebec, very strong signal. You are 10 over 9 here. Handle here is Steve. Steve is the name. Location south part of Germany near the city of Nuremberg. A microphone back to you. Mike 0 Oscar November Quebec. This is DC1 and T. Go ahead. Okay, Roger, Andy. No problem, the copy. Your 450 doing a very good job here. Working conditions on this side, a very old equipment. It's an old TS940 sugar. And the antenna is a rotary dipole. Output power about 500 watts right now, pointing to the UK. That's the story from here. WX was overcast. We had on the daytime we had about 3-4 degrees. Now it is -4 outside. We're expecting snow in the next days. So that's the story here from the south part of Germany, Andy. Microphone back to you. Mike 0 Ocean Nancy Quebec, DC1 and T. Okay, Roger, Andy, no problem. By the way, last transmission 5 and 9, a little bit over 9, wonderful signal here. Andy, pleasure was on my side. All the best for 2019. God take care about you and your family, and wish you all the best. See you next time on the frequency. 73, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Delta 3, Delta X-ray.
Station with Delta X-ray, come again.
Delta Charlie 1, November Delta.
BT3DX, yes, you are 5 and 9 with me, 5 and 9 with me, but can you spell your correctly call sign, please, slowly, over?
Yes, you have no problem, Steve. Papa, Delta, number 3, Delta X-ray, BT3DX, and the first one name is Peppers. Bravo, Echo, Django, Uniform, Sugar, DC1ND, BT3DX, over.
Okay, Roger, now I have it correct, Battles. No problem, you are very strong, 10 over 9 here. Location about 100 kilometers north of the city of Nuremberg. Wonderful audio, by the way. Absolutely BBC quality. Yes, I see you're running also a rotary dipole. I see it on the picture in QSL.com. The working conditions, let's tell you, this side is also a rotary dipole, and the rig is a very old TS940 output power, about 500 watts. That's the story. Microphone
All right,
back to you.
I'm going to have to tune up. How to run power. I'll get the amp going. I know. Good enough. All right, let's see what's going on. You know what? I'm gonna probably change microphones. Let me look around. I'm gonna look around first, see if there's any DX, see how the band is. John. Yeah, you gotta love these guys.
Try once more. Let me see the menu.
Italy United 2, India Hotel Charlie.
Oh, good Lord.
10 dB over 9, 10 dB over 9 in North Italy, Roger.
Okay, thank you very much for the nice report, India.
I'm not even going to change microphones.
India Hotel
Forget it.
Charlie, Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet, like I said to the last station, which was in Italy, like you. We're using here a simple antenna system. It's only quarter wave vertical made by Steppier. It's on the ground with 130 radials. The transceiver, the Kenwood TS990 with 400 watts. India Uniform 2, India Hotel Charlie, Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet with a good report. Over.
Roger, Roger, Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet. Italy United 2, India Hotel Charlie returning. I transmit also with the vertical antenna. My power also is 400 to 500 watts. My transceiver is Kenwood also, Kenwood TS950. That is my condition at the moment. Thank you very much for the contact. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, you and family. Greeting from Bergamo. Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Japan, Italy United 2, India Hotel Charlie, over.
Okay, yeah, calls about you TS950. You had the TS950 SDX before the TS990 here on mine. Okay, thank you very much. One more time, a good signal coming from Italy. India Uniform 2, India Hotel Charlie, Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet. Have a great...
That is slow scan, I think you hear in the background.
Thank you very much. 73, grazie, all the best.
Yep, that's slow scan.
Yes, Stephen. So here's Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet. Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet, secure.
Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike.
Secure. Calling Charlie Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet. Yes, Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet, secure listening.
Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike.
The Kilo 1, the signal is not very strong. One more time, your Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet. Over.
Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet. Here is Kilo 1 Germany, Mexico, Mexico. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Over.
I just said Kilo 1 Golf something. For me, it's just the beginning of the good conditions with your location this time. It's very, very poor conditions. Kilo
Boy, he's really weak.
Something. You are Foxtrot 4, Echo Charlie Juliet. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Name is Steve over here in Vermont. And you were about a 5.5. Conditions were actually better earlier, but you're about a 5 and 5. 5 and 5 from Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Over.
Okay, it's really up and
Yeah, QSB is horrific. Horrific.
I've got the calls on correct, Steve. Sometimes we have some bursts from your station, and it's very, very hard. It's just the middle of the evening here in France. Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Up, I've got the calls on correct. Foxtrot 4 Echo Charlie Juliet. Over.
Yeah. Eric, no problem. I'll say 7-3. QSB is very, very deep and very fast. Bad QSB. I've got you in here at a signal 1 to about an S5, and it's up and down. 7-3. Merry Christmas and a very happy New Year to you and yours, and hopefully we can do it again under better conditions there, Eric. Thanks for picking me up. F4ECJ, K1GMM, over.
Okay, Kilo 1 Golf Mike, Foxtrot 4 Echo Charlie Juliet, like you said, a little bit up and down. Thank you very much for the try, maybe another time in better conditions. Kilo 1 Golf Mike, Foxtrot 4 Echo Charlie Juliet, merci, au revoir.
See you, Eric, thank you. Yep, I'm gonna go switch around and go stateside here because this is the way 40 meters has been. It's very odd. I thought he was stronger than that, and he was only, geez, he wasn't even bumping the meter on the 7300.
And I'm just using 100 watts and a dipole, so it must be extremely good pipeline between the two of us. I've been listening to you for a few minutes, and I know where you're located, near Nuremberg. And here, by the way, my name's Keith, Kilo, Echo, Italy, Tango, Hotel. Keith is the name, and located near Southampton, the large seaport.
Yep, see, he just faded right into the noise. He's an S1 to S4. Okay, now he's on. Crazy.
Conditions between the two of us. Delta Charlie 1, November Tango, from G4BYY.
Okay, Roger, Keith. No.
Okay. All right, let me, 3 boxes, Chris. 3 boxes next to the keyboard. I'm assuming I know what you're talking about here. So let me kill this. Let me point this out. Wrong one. There we go. Okay, 3 boxes next to the keyboard. This box right here is the coax switch. That's a motor drive I have on the coax switch. It's a four-position coax switch, which only currently there are 3 antennas plugged into. Position 1 is the 75-80 meter array. Position 2 is open currently, and then there's neutral, and then position 3 is the 40 meter parasitic array, which is what I'm on right now, and position 4 is the hex beam, the 20 meter hex beam. So that's what that's for. This is the switch for the 40 meter array. This, I can control the array in which direction it goes. It either goes northeast or southwest, and I'm facing kind of northeast right now. This box right here is for the 75 meter array. This either goes northeast or southwest. This one's in the front yard. This one's in the backyard, along with the hex beam. So hopefully that answers your questions. I'm going to flip around, see if I can get anybody to talk to, because I'm not going to scream my head off. Hey, you heard me in Scotland. That's okay. You must have a good antenna there. 40-year-old FT707 on homebrew Delta Loop. Holy cow, dude. How'd you keep that radio working? Wow. Alrighty then. Let's see if we can scrounge up somebody stateside. I'm going to flip the array. Now we're going southwest. Let's see if... see if there's anybody around here. Well, let's go up in the general class portion, see if we can get someone to chat with. I'm gonna roll the power back because I shouldn't need it. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? K1GMM. You're welcome, Chris. Is this frequency in use? $50 you ever spent. That's incredible. Calling CQ. CQ. Calling CQ from Vermont. Here is Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Calling CQ. CQ 40. CQ 40 meters. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Calling CQ 40 and by. Whoa, my SWR is through the roof. I forgot I moved way up the band. It's a problem with these antennas. They are fairly high Q. Good enough for me. CQ 40, CQ 40 meters, CQ 40, CQ, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling CQ, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling CQ 40, CQ 40, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling it by. Okay, I gotta, hold on guys, stand by, stand by. I just had a couple guys from Europe come back to me. Good heavens. Okay, guys, I know there was a Mike 6 in there. Mike 6, come on back in, over. QRZ, this is Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling CQ 40 meters, maybe listening for Europe. I heard a couple European stations in there. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Bye for any calls.
2 Whiskey 0 Sierra Victor Lima. 2 Whiskey Zero, Sierra Victor Lima.
Got you in here. 2 Whiskey Zero, Sierra Victor Lima. Give you a report on the next go. And good evening. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And good to hear you. Name is Steve. Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo, State of Vermont, Northeast U.S. 2 Whiskey Zero SVL K1GMM. Over.
Okay, Steve. Good to hear you, friend. Good to see you. You don't quite recognize the new call there, the 2 Whiskey Zero Sierra Victor Lima. The old call sign was Mike Whiskey 6 Sierra Victor Lima. Now 2 Whiskey Zero SVL there, Steve.
Hey, awesome. Yeah. Congratulations. Well, I recognize the Sierra Victor Lima, but I didn't put it together. I'm kind of cautious about that. How you doing? How was your holiday? Over?
Yeah, I had a fantastic time, Steve. Absolutely fantastic. Nice and quiet, as I like it over here. A really great time. Me and the XYL. And, and the dog, like yourself. And, it was a good day there, Steve.
Oh, very good. Very good. That is hilarious. What are you running? And by the way, you are, I'm live streaming, as you know. I assume you know. And what are you running there? How much power? I got you right at the noise floor, but boy, I got the headphones on, no problem. I never lose you in there. Go ahead, over.
Yeah, okay, Steve. No problem there. Same working conditions as last time. The Fox Tango 991 Alpha. Currently running a new Delta X-Ray Commander, a new DX Commander there. But I now have 50 watts that I can actually use now. So I'm coming at you with 50 watts, mate.
See, that's just what I say. I say that all the time. You do not need a lot of power. That is pretty remarkable, dude. So it's working great, man. Congratulations. Let me see if there's anybody stateside that wants to try and pick you up. Is there anybody stateside listening that can hear John over there in the UK? If there are, go ahead. You can place a call for 2 Whiskey Zero Sierra Victor Lima. Anybody stateside try and get John? Go ahead right now, please. Over.
Yeah, Kilo 1 Golf Mike 2 Whiskey Zero Sierra Victor Lima. Steve, I lost you a little bit in the noise there, my friend. Lost you a little bit in the noise there. Let's see how it works on this over. Back to you there, Steve. 2 Whiskey Zero Sierra Victor Lima.
Yeah, 2 Whiskey Zero SVL K1GMM. Yeah, no problem there, John. No problem. Let me see if I can grab. Mike 6. Let me see if I can get Mike 6 Echo November Sierra in there. So stand by for a moment, John. Steve, how copy? Mike 6 Echo November Sierra Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Mike 6 Echo November Sierra Kilo 1 Golf Mike. I don't hear him. John. All right, John. I'm going to go ahead and clear out of here. I'll say have a nice job. Congratulations, by the way. Boy, the rig is working great for you. This is something I have noticed, and I swear by it. I think you said you're on a vertical, correct? a lot of people poo-poo the fact that there could be a big difference between horizontal polarization and vertical, and I have found that more often than not, it is a factor. So that may be the reason why you're not hearing me that well, because there can be about 3.5 S units difference between you're vertically polarized, so you're receiving vertically, you're listening vertically, and I'm throwing a signal at you horizontal. Theoretically, it can be a huge difference. A lot of people poo-poo that, but I have found, especially in the longer wavelengths, that it happens more often than not. So no problem, man. Go ahead and let you tie it off, and I'll get you in the log. So I'm thrilled. 2 Whiskey Zero Sierra Victor Lima, Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Go ahead, John.
Negative on him, my friend. Can't hear him at all there. But yeah, I'm running the all-band vertical at the moment with 50 watts actually, my friend. So yeah, we're making the trip. It's nice to know that I can get across the water without too much of a problem now. Zero victory, back to you there, Steve.
Okay, John, no problem. No problem. Yeah. M6 ENS just jumped in, and he said that he can't even hear me now. So the QSB is just really bad. The band is just up and down. We need to do it sooner. We need to get in here like probably about, starting about, let's see, 1:30. That would be 6:30 p.m. your time. I'll tell you what, the 40 was gangbusters at around 2 o'clock this afternoon, my time. Current time now here is about 5. So it was about 3 hours ago, believe it or not. And I've seen this a lot where 40 just kind of falls apart. Starts out great and then the bottom falls out. So 7-3, we'll catch you later, John. See if I can pick up any more. I'm probably just going to flip back around and see if I can pick up any stateside for the stream. 2 Whiskey Zero Sierra Victor Lima, 7-3, my friend. Catch you in the chat. Kilo 1 Golf Mike, over.
Okay, Steve, no problem at all, mate. It's good to hear you, good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful holiday, and wish you a pleasant new year, and I certainly will be looking out for you. You need to set up a forget mode, mate. Anyway, I'll leave you trot round the bands, and I wish you 73 to you and yours, and let's go to 50 down the road here with 2 Whiskey Zero Sierra Victor Lima, Kilo 1 Golf Mike.
Okay, John. Yep, I heard somebody calling right underneath you there. So let me see if I can pick up that station. QRZ, I am looking at Europe. Any other Europe, please come now. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike. QRZ Europe, Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Okay, I hear you in there. I think that's you. Mike 6 Echo November Sierra. I got you in here right at the noise floor. I had to pull the threshold down a little bit, and I do hear you in there. Good to hear you, and your report is about a 3-1 at best, but I know you're in there. Go ahead, K1GMM. Okay, I've got you at 10 watts. I think I heard you say 10 watts, 10 watts. Mike 6 Echo November Sierra, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, 10 watts from the UK, 40 meters. Congratulations is all I can say. I got you in here, but it's rough going there. Over. Okay, I don't hear anything coming back to me. I think the QSB has got you. 7373, and I will go ahead and plug that in, and we can chalk that up as a successful contact. How's that? I hope you heard me. 73, catch you on the stream. QRZ Europe. Anybody in Europe before I switch the flip here? This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike over here, state of Vermont, listening for Europe. QRZ. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and flip her around. I think it's just too hard going in Europe. So let's see here.
Mit der zweiten Rhombusantenne in Spanisch.
QSY up to 179. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? K1GMM. CQ40 meters, listening for any station stateside. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling CQ. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Bye for a call. CQ40 meters, listening for any station stateside. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. From Manchester, Vermont. This is K1GMM calling CQ, and bye. CQ40 meters, CQ40, listening for station stateside, beaming west-southwest from Vermont. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Bye for any calls. course, I have someone tuning up. CQ 40 meters, listening for any stations anywhere. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Bye for any calls.
Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. This is Kilo Germany 8 United Hotel down in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Hey, Don. Belated Merry Christmas and an upcoming Happy New Year. KG8 Uniform Hotel, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Name is Steve. About 15 miles north of Manchester, Vermont. And I'll give you a report on the next go. And my first question is, how has your holiday been so far? Hopefully you're able to spend some good time with the family there. Go ahead.
Yeah, the holiday has been good. So far, the weather's not bad. We're in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Actually, we don't have any snow. We had just a sprinkling of snow for Christmas yesterday, and not much of anything. I think there's a little bit predicted, but haven't seen it. Otherwise, we had our children over here and grandchildren for Christmas, and we enjoyed the Christmas dinner and get together and gift giving and all that. Today we yesterday on Christmas Day we just kind of laid back and took a break and recovered from the big shindig on Monday night. But anyway, otherwise everything is going pretty well. How about you? This is Kilo Germany 8 United Hotel.
Yeah, Don, everything's going pretty good. Sorry about the racket. And you're about 5'9", with a nice signal coming in up here. And yeah, it's pretty mellow, dude. We had a mellow day yesterday. Ate too much. That seems to be an ongoing problem during the holiday season. I'm going to have to go on a diet for about 4 months after just what I ate yesterday. Crazy, dude. Crazy. So, yeah. And by the way, you are live streaming. We are live streaming to YouTube on my K1GMM YouTube channel. You'll be able to catch it. I will let it go, let it render to YouTube for a later date. You'll be able to catch it if you're interested. And basically, welcome to the party. There's a bunch of guys in here from all over the place, stateside and over in the UK and all over. So, but great to hear you. Yeah, we're not much going on through the rest of the week, to be honest with you, dude. Pretty quiet. I live a very boring, mellow life. Over.
Yeah, nobody's working. I don't know. I think people went back to work today. I was surprised that the stores weren't real busy. My wife had to do some shopping for a birthday coming up this weekend, and the stores weren't real bad. They weren't out the door with people trying to make returns. But we did get out and do that. We had to buy some stuff for that, and now we're eating the leftovers that are still left over from Friday or from Christmas Eve dinner. And we had a ham, and it was a good one. And we're just finishing up the remnants of that for dinner tonight. But beyond that, you're above the noise. You're above the noise to me. And then if the band moves around a little bit, I lose you. But you're solid. You're solid. I've been monkeying with the buttons and trying to eliminate some of the noise. But I'm running a barefoot radio. It's a Kenwood TS830 into a R7 vertical, the antenna, running about 125 watts. Back to you.
Okay, Don, yeah, no problem. Yeah, you're anywhere from an S. The band is just, it's like the bottom fell out, dude. it was really, really good about, what time is it now? Yeah, about 3 hours ago. Man, it was cracking. I had Europe coming in here. I worked France, barefoot, no problem. And then at 1:30 in the afternoon, and then everything just fell apart. And that's the way 40 has been, I guess. From what I hear, people have been saying that. But yeah, you're anywhere from a 5 and 9, and you're just bumping into the red, believe it or not. I'm running about 3 to 400 out here, and the antenna is a parasitic delta loop array, which has extremely good ears, very, very good ears, and very quiet. My noise, I can hear a little bit of crackle here and there, but my noise floor is basically 0. Over.
QRZ here. Yeah, that's quite a picture. Anyway, real good. Yeah, real good. Beyond that, I don't know. We're dealing with the winter just by doing radio. I've got an old Corvette I like to work on. I got some work to do on it, but every time I walk out in the garage, I look at it, and then it's cold out there, so then I just turn the light off and come on back in, turn the radio on. So that's what's facing me for the next 3 months. I got to get that Corvette running. This is KG8UH. Back to you.
Oh man, dude, nice. You got a Corvette you're working on. That is awesome. Now, I take it you have a heated garage. I was just talking to a friend of mine about that. You know, I've lived in this house since 1994, and I would kill for a heated garage. And I think that's going to be my next project. I have an extra wood stove, so I think I'll put in a chimney. And I'll get the garage insulated because I'm tired of working in the cold. Those days are long gone. I spent countless hours working on snowmobiles. You know, it's like 20, 25 below zero outside in an unheated garage, laying on my back on the garage floor. You know what you can do with that, don't you? That dog won't hunt anymore, and I'm not doing it. So I take it your garage is heated, and what's the ETA on the project? Is this an ongoing thing, or do you have like an idea of when it's going to be done there? Go ahead.
Well, what I'm doing with it is it's running right now. I can go out and start it and drive it, but it needs a new brake booster. And I got the new booster. It's a 1975 Corvette. And my wife and I, we just take it out and drive it. And right now it needs a new booster but in order to get at the booster to get it out of there, I gotta take the steering column out, and so that I can get under there and get the.
Boy, he's fading, heavy fading.
So, I got that to do, and then I'm gonna pull.
Look at that, he just faded to an S1.
And I gotta change some of the dash lights. There's 2 of them burn out, and I want to change those. But that's what's going on with that. And I do have heat in the garage. I've got a furnace on the ceiling, a Modine type of heater. I fire that up, and then if it's still cold, I have another little space heater I can turn on, and I can get it up to about 65 in there, no matter what the weather is. So that works for me okay. So between ham radio and the Corvette, that keeps me busy. I'm a retired welder. I've been a retired welder. I worked for Bissell Carpet Sweeping Company. Been out of there for quite a few years, but hey, I'm doing okay. But laying on that cold cement floor, I get it. It's not that's not pleasant. This is KG8UH, back at you.
Yeah, KG8UH. Boy, I'll tell you what, Don, the band just took a dump. You fell right into the noise, right in the noise. Do you still copy? Because I don't want to hold it. KG8 Uniform Hotel, K1GMM, over, over. The band just completely closed between us. Wow. Band just completely dumped.
Steve, I haven't heard anything, so I believe I lost you.
Yeah, Don, the band just completely shifted around. She totally shifted around. I'll say 7-3. Happy New Year if you can hear me, and hope we can do it again, hopefully under better conditions. Sorry about that, dude. Nothing we can do about it. The band just completely flipped and just changed path. It's gone. I can hear you, but just barely. KG8UH, K1GMM, 7-3.
K1GMM, N8SDR.
Hey, Rick, hold on. I can hear him chatting in there. Yeah, 7-3, Don, if you can hear me. Have a good one, buddy. Sorry about that. Rick, what's going on? N8SDR, K1GMM.
Hey, Steve. Hopefully you had a good Christmas and enjoying the holidays. I caught the end of this, towards the end of your stream here, last, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes or so I'm streaming now too as well, but horrible noise here on my end. It's, I don't know what's going on here. I've been fighting with noise here it seems like the last 4 or 5 times I've turned the rig on. It's not the rig either. It's something here locally. It's something new somebody's got, I guess. But we'll get it figured out. Not much else is going on. Hello, Ed. Apparently Ed's watching both streams, so we'll say hello to him and the guys on your side, and I think Ed's the only one locked in on my side so far. So, but yeah, you're not as strong as normal, but the band is kind of funky, as you said. K1GMM, N8SDR.
Yeah, Rick, hey man, good to hear you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. And hope you had a good day yesterday. Yeah, the band is horrible, dude. I just looked up at the pan adapter. There's like nothing there except AM broadcast coming out of Europe. There's nothing. There's like, I don't know, couple, 2 or 3 strong signals on the entire portion of 40 meters, and they're not even strong. They should be red hot, you know what I mean? And it's horrible. The band just completely took a dump. It was I heard guys in Ohio trying to work France at 1:30 in the afternoon my time this afternoon on 40. It was cranking earlier. I should have been in here 3 hours ago. There, over.
That's the way it usually works, man. You know, it's hot when you're never around, or you don't have time to get on the air. It just seems to happen.
Yeah, breaker standby.
Hey, did you ever figure out what the mix was this morning? I'm assuming that was a little bit of IF mixing with some other oscillations there. Perhaps when you thought that might have been 6 meters.
I don't know. There was somebody else in there too, Rick. So stand by that other station. I'll send it your way next. Just to address your question, Rick, I have to look up the dongle. Some of these SDR dongles do not they do not receive on 6 meters, 50 megahertz. It skips. There's a skip there. I don't know why, and I suspect that that's what was going on. Why the frequency counter would be set at 50 megahertz and it would be receiving on 40, I've never seen that before. So there's something, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, dude, it had me completely perplexed. I could not figure. I'm listening to these QSOs going on, and I look up at the screen and it says 50.340, and I'm like, what are people doing on 50.3 and above? That's not where they're supposed to be. That's the FT8 area, you know? What are they doing there? And the whole pan adapter was full of signals. And so I went upstairs and kind of festered around a little bit, and I was thinking about it. I came back down. I said, you know what? Something's wrong. Something's got to be wrong, because it didn't even sound like the QSOs were the type of Q you'd hear on 6 meters. You know what I'm saying? That's a sporadic E-band. Usually you don't have like a dozen people rag chewing on 6 meters. I've never heard that before. So I took the 6 meter beam and I jacked it into the 7300, and I went to 6 meters up to 50.3 something, and there was nothing, dude. It was a ghost town. It was friggin' hilarious. Anyways, just another day in paradise for me. But I'll tell you what, I got awfully excited for a little while. The other station in there, I think it was a 4 call or something. Go ahead, jump on in, and then put it over to Rick if you can hear him. K1GMM.
Yeah, Kilo 1, Kilo Whiskey 4, Hotel Uniform. Bravo, Oscar Bravo, Central Florida. QSL.
Oh, Bob, KW4HU, I think it is. Yeah, Rick, can you hear him? Go ahead.
Nah, I'm not hearing Bob here at all, Steve. Go ahead and pick it up with him, and then turn it back to me when you get a chance. I got a couple comments for you about that, and then I'll let you pick it back up with him all the way.
Okay, Rick. KW4HU. I recognize that call, but I'm not sure where I recognize it from. Anyways, Bob, how's it going? Rick cannot hear you. His call is November 8 Sierra Delta Radio. This is Steve here, K1GMM, Kilo 1 Golf Mike, about 15 miles north of Manchester, Vermont. And we are live streaming to YouTube, just hanging out with the guys on the stream and seeing who's knocking around on HF here. But good to hear you, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas and an upcoming Happy New Year to you. KW4HU, K1GMM.
Yes, K1GMM, KW4HU. Yeah, I think we've spoken before. I just went to your webpage and I see the drumsticks in your nose and in your mouth. It's in your mouth. And I've been there before. I think we have made contact before. The other gentleman, unable to copy. You unable to copy.
Okay, yeah, and there's somebody else in there too. So let me bring him in. Somebody broke in just before you grabbed the key there. Yeah, it might be under the other log there, Bob, because I'm running a different log now, and I can't get the log out of QRZ because I'm too cheap to pay to do it. The other station, go ahead, and I don't know if you can hear Bob down in Florida. I think there was another station maybe in Foreland, I'm not sure. Go ahead, K1GMM. Okay, was there another, there was somebody else in there, I know there was. Go ahead, please, over.
I heard it too for a second.
Okay, I don't hear them. They'll jump in. This is not a closed queue, so if anybody wants to jump in, please do. Bob, I'm going to grab Rick here for a second if you want to stand by. NASDR K1GMM.
Yeah, Steve. What you said about that is pretty much what I had put in that email. I don't know if you read that email that I had sent you after I saw the post, and I was going to post to you. Well, I was trying to post Well, that video was up, and then by the time I got done doing my comments, you had already pulled the video, so I shot it to you in an email. But that's exactly 100% what I had said in the email was those don't sound like 6-meter QSOs. 6-meter QSOs, man, when the band's open like that, it's like a working a rare DX pileup. You know how it is. Those weren't 6-meter QSOs. Oh man. Yeah, I'm looking at that and I'm going 50.300. What the hell is everybody doing way up there? And I got looking at your pan adapter, and I've noticed that down, 200 and below, where most of the sideband activity, especially like around 125 to 150, 175, that's usually when the band's open, man, that's slammed through that section. And there's hardly anything going on down there. I'm thinking something's not right here. Something just doesn't add up. K1GMM N8SDR.
Yeah, Rick. I mean, you know what I first thought? I thought, oh crap. I wonder if I got the up converter or down converter set wrong in the software, in the Spyserver, because that was actually the Spyserver running. That was not the radio or anything else. That was the online server that was taking a feed from the Raspberry Pi here at the house. And I looked at it, I thought, what? Nobody transmits on phone above 50.3. They're all going to be down there. And I did the same thing, man. I looked down there and went, well, what the heck is that? So I guess the point is, if there's anything I can take away from it, don't believe everything I can see. Over.
Well, it's just one of those fluke things that happens, That's happened with me before. Not on the 3000 or the 6400, but that did happen to me on the 2000, on the Yaesu, on the FT2000, on 6 meters, where I got mixing with. This is when I had the inverted L and the 43-foot vertical were tied in with all the fence in the neighborhood, which I later found out was not a good idea. Made for a nice RF ground. Yeah,
Bluetooth. That's the time to be in there. It was a walk in the park. I worked France on like 80 watts, and I was like S9 plus.
A lot of
stupid, and that was way before Greyline.
Basically, and then that radio station across the street was just slamming the heck out of the front end of the receiver. And what happened was I had mixing going on between the fundamental of MOH, the fifth harmonic of MOH, and 6 meters. And, well, not 6 meters, it was some other band. But it all dumped out down around 6 meters. And it's the same kind of scenario. It just overloaded the front end of it. And I'm thinking, wow, the band's open. And it wasn't. It wasn't open at all. It was just mixing a whole bunch of stuff that happened to get dumped out on that frequency. So, yeah, it happens. No big deal. Would like to try to work you on 6 meters sometime. It's got to, well, late here in December, usually we get a few good openings on 6. So maybe we'll come across something. I guess what we need to do is kind of both of us keep an eye on 6 meters. And if we see something pop up that looks like it's either a tropo or maybe a temp inversion or something that's headed to either one of our directions, give each one of us give the other guy a call and see if he can pop on 6 meters real quick or something and give that a whirl. I'll let you get back with Bob and the guys down there. I did hear Bob for a couple seconds and then it dropped out on him. So, Bob, if you're hearing me, I'm not sure if you are or not. Merry Christmas to you, and hope things going well with you guys down there in Foreland. So, take care, Steve. I'll catch up with you here later on. I'm gonna kind of scan around a little bit. I may play up on 80 meters later tonight for a little bit and see what's going on up there. Oh, just another quick update too. I'm not sure if you noticed that the FT8 protocols have changed and there's new versions of the software out, just to kind of keep everybody ahead of what's going on with that. They're really recommending everybody jump to the new versions of the software because things have changed in it, and some of the guys running the new stuff won't decode the older guys and vice versa. So I don't know if you're aware of that. K1GMM N8SDR.
N8SDR K1GMM. Bob, if you're still in there, it's coming your way in a second. Sticker, I did, Rick, by the way. I went to the new version last week, and I noticed right away. I was like, hey, check it out. I like it better. It's cool. What was I doing? Jeez, I sat there. I rattled off like 25. I'd have to look at the log. I think 25 Qs running 5 watts on, what was it? 75 meters the other morning. I was like, I was just sitting there doing a copious amount of reading on stuff. And I was like, I'll run some FT8. So I just kept banging away. It was hilarious. The zombie mode. We all know what the zombie mode is all about. Anyways, can you stick around just for a second? I'm going to pick it up with Bob here.
Yeah, I'll stick around for a little bit in 8SDR.
Okay, Bob, are you still in there? KW4HU, sorry about that, dude. Bring in here, K1GMM.
Yeah, K1GMM, K-W4HU, still here, standing by. I just put up a 40-meter dipole, and I just wanted to check and see how it was working. It's oriented northwest to southeast, and should be aiming up in your direction.
Okay, yeah, I just looked down at the radio, and you're anywhere from I think you peaked to 7 at one point, just quickly, but you're right around an S5 to 7, 5.7. And I'm assuming you're not running power. You're not running power, correct?
That's correct. A full 100 watts, or maybe 90.
Okay, no, I wouldn't read too much into that, Bob. The band is horrible. At least it is for me right now. Horrible. I would say absolutely abysmal condition. Rick is usually below my doors in, and he's only about an S5. And normally that's a good path. My path to down the eastern seaboard and out in the Midwest to Ohio Illinois is a very good path, and it's just not working right now. So the band is just cack. All right, I'm going to just dump it quick here, see if there's anybody else who wants to jump in, and then I'm going to pick it up with Rick quick. I got something pretty funny I need to tell him. This is K1GMM Vermont. Anybody else want to join in, come now. Otherwise, I'm grabbing it with Rick. Okay, Rick, this is insane, dude. I built a 80, well, I intended it to be an 80 through 10 meter off-center fed dipole as a receive antenna for the Spyserver. Let me make sure you can still copy me. You still there?
Hey, Steve, I don't know if you just turned it back this way or not, but we just lost the path between you and me. So if you're copying me, Steve, I'll have to, I can't hear you now, so the path dropped out between us. I'll jump back over on your page just to kind of post it there too and let you know. And we'll keep working on it. I'll catch up with you here later on, Steve. Maybe I'll try to give you a call tomorrow too on the phone. K1GMM N8SDR.
Okay there, Rick. Yeah, we'll catch you later. 7373 if you can hear me. Yeah, the band just closed right up. It just disappeared. This is what I was talking about. All right, Bob. Bob and Rick, we'll catch you guys later. I'm done. I'm not going to play this game. So there's plenty of times to be on the radio when the band is good, and I'm certainly not going to work for it right now. So, Bob, good to hear you. Very happy New Year. Prosperous one to you and your family, if you can hear me. I'll go ahead and tie it off with you and then QRT. KW4HU, K1GMM, over.
Yeah, K1GMM, KW4HU, 73, my friend. Have a great day, better tomorrow, and a very, very happy New Year for you and your whole family. Take care, my friend. Hopefully we'll speak with you later on. KW4HU, going to be clear.
Okay, thanks for making the call, Bob, and thanks for your patience. Much appreciated, dude. We'll catch you later. Anytime, jump in and say hello. Always great to hear from you. 7-3, and this is K1GMM Vermont closing down. All right. What a complete... Holy crap. That was the biggest waste. What a joke. Anyways, yeah, Rick, no problem. Rick, what I was going to tell you really quick before you, and then you can get out of here. I already said this early in the stream, but this is pretty funny. I put up an OCF for, yeah, Merry Christmas, you guys, Happy New Year, and all that great stuff. Great to see you on the stream, and I'm going to shut it down after I finish this with Rick. I'll tell you on the stream, Rick. I put up an OCF. It was supposed to be an 80 through 10 meter OCF. I got the build plans online, and you know where to place the feed point for what bands I wanted to get. And by God, dude, that thing, I swept it, and it's 1.5 to 1 from 3.5 megahertz all the way to 51 megahertz, including the Wark bands, 17 meters as well. I didn't check 60. I should have. I forgot. 75, 40, 20, 17, 15, 10, and 6. 1.5 to 1. And 20 meters through 10 meters is about a 1.2 to 1 or less, including 17 meters. 20 meters through 10 meters. Figure that one out. However, that thing is the noisiest freaking thing on the face of the earth compared to what I got up now. I can't run it. I can't run it. Horrible. Horrible. But I understand why people run them. If you want just one antenna that covers a bunch of bands without a tuner, hey man, get that thing up. It's only up about 25 feet, which probably is the reason. And I don't have any choking on it or anything. So who knows what the problem is. So anyways, that's it. See you guys later. Have a good evening. And yeah, Dave, it was great. Great. I loved it. You know, I'd rather, to be honest with you guys, sorry about that. I would rather make like just 1 or 2 cues with somebody across the pond running like 10 freaking watts than make 100 cues on with someone running like legal limit on 50 element monobanders. You know, I really would. I really like that. I think it's cool. Anyways, catch you later. Happy New Year. I should be around again. There's always, I got more stuff going on and crap happening. So 7-3. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks again for stopping by. Much appreciated. And slappy new. Sign out the stream.
Central Indiana in a town called Terre Haute, and we've got you in here at a S9, 5.9 all the way.
Yeah, very good. What's the name?
Oh, the name here is Hotel Uniform Golf Hotel Hugh. I copy that. I think the time that I took a vacation to, I was heading out to Phoenix, Arizona, and I started